Hey, gun people. I had to do this article, man. This is great. Man, 90 years old, tells cops hooker ripped him off. So let's talk about the hooker and prostitution. I'm one of the few people that think prostitution laws are kind of BS. I think I've talked about this in other videos, but look, you know, liberals are always talking about women's body. They can kill their baby. They can have abortions. They can do what they want. It's their body. They can say no. They can do what they want. But they can't charge people to have sex with them. They got to play like I like them, go to dinner and call it a date. Then you can have sex. But if you just tell a guy that you can pay me and I'll have sex, it's not your body. Then the government says it's their body and you can't do that. So I've always had a big issue with prostitution being illegal and prosecuted. Is so much time and effort and bullshit wasted on it. Most people don't give a shit what people do in their own home. They shouldn't. It's nobody's business. This 90-year-old man pays a woman to come over and give him a blowjob. Oh, sorry, I got to give my viewer warning. This contains graphic and strong language. Please remove children and cover your ears if you're a pink panty pussy. All right. So, that'll get this video blocked. Alright, so 90-year-old man arrested. He pays a prostitute $100 to come over and give him a blowjob in his house. And then when she leaves, evidently she took a gold chain. He got pissed off. He called the cops and said, hey, you know, she ripped me off. I was paying her sex. Now, in most crimes, you cannot be charged, and I emphasize the word charged. A DA will not charge it and put it in front of a jury on a simple admission. You have to have other corroborate. I can walk in there and say, I killed Kennedy. They can't arrest me, even though I just admitted, but Rick, you confessed to killing him. You should go to jail for the rest of your life. They can't arrest me. You have to have other corroborating evidence that backs up and would make a reasonable person believe that you, in fact, that your confession is actually true and correct. I mean, there's all kind of you know, the Zodiac Killer, we had all kind of people calling saying, I'm the Zodiac Killer, I did this. They'd come in, they'd give interviews, they'd report what they said what they saw in the paper, trying to get arrested so they could get the fame of being the big killer. So the laws are pretty clear. You can't arrest somebody or you can't charge them just for an admission. Can you arrest them? Remember I talk about the different levels of probable cause. Probable cause is lower to arrest somebody than it is to charge and put you in front of a jury. So the cops arrest this dude, which I think is kind of bullshit. I mean, guy tells me he's 90 years old and he's paying a hooker for a blowjob. I'm giving him a high five and I'm going on my next call. I'm not arresting him. But somehow some pink panty dentist police officer got his panties in a knot and wanted to arrest this dude. So he arrested him because he said he paid for a hooker. Now the guy's all he got to say when he goes to court is, you know what, I was just telling him that. You know, we were in a dating relationship. I knew the girl. It wasn't paid for sex. I owed her that money for something. I mean, there's 101 reasons he'd come up with. So unless the hooker and him both agree to say that they paid for sex, they can't convict the other without the other statement. And you can't convict somebody for just a co-conspirator statement because they both conspired to break the law. He conspired when he talked to her, 2 or more people conspiring or planning a crime. He called her, said, come over, give me a blowjob for $100. She said, okay, I'll come over. She went over. There's your overt act. And they've completed conspiracy. So they're both guilty of conspiracy, whether or not the crime committed. And that's probably what they'll end up pleading to or getting charged to. It's conspiracy to commit prostitution. So, in this, shit, when this thing goes blank, man, it really messes up my focus. So, as a cop arrests this guy, here's a statement from the 90-year-old, which makes me even like him more. You're going to get arrested for hiring a hooker. I don't give a fuck. I'm 90 years old, for Christ's sake. I'm high-fiving the guy again and I'm leaving. Matter of fact, I'm dragging the dumbass cop that's trying to arrest him out saying, let's get the hell out of here. What are you doing? Come on, let's go. So, I like this 90-year-old dude. I ain't even met him. And as far as prostitution goes, man, look how much money. You tied up an officer. There's real crime being committed. This cop had to book this guy. He subjected the city and taxpayers to lawsuit if this 90-year-old gets hurt and handcuffed, if he's bruised, if his arm pops out of socket, if we book him in jail, he trips and falls and busts his head. You've submitted and made such a case for this guy to have 1,000 lawsuits against the city for some poo-butt freaking prostitution arrest that you can't even convict. So, I mean, now, obviously there's ways that they can make this case better, and I think they did. I mean, if I wanted to subpoena cell phone records, the guy said he called her. I could subpoena the cell phone records. It would show a phone call. It would show that she was there. And then they went to the person. They got a statement for her. I don't know what she said. I kind of forgot. Sexual encounter in the home. Reporter got paid $100 for a blowjob. Added the unnamed, assured him that the woman was good. He got his information from a friend. When he asked her, all I know is her phone number, and she lives across the street from the Christmas tree shop. So anybody in Dennis, if you want to get a blowjob for $100, there's a lady across from the Christmas tree shop that does it. Oh God, the feds will be like, hey, this is YouTube's channel trying to promote crime. He's giving people information. That's not free speech. Let's shut down his channel. Screw you, YouTube, you damn pansy. Anyway, so police noted later recovered that the firm buys gold, whatever, was charged. She was charged with prostitution and larceny. See, they're going to charge her with some felonies, so she'll be more likely to plea. And then she'll say, okay, well, the DA will go, she'll get a public defender. That's more money that the county has to pay. Now they arrested her. They tied up 2 or 3 officers for this big, huge case of a 90-year-old dude getting a blowjob in his house, which is really nobody's damn business. And look how much money's wasted. And you got people, prostitution laws are great because it protects women. Oh my God, really? All right, I just thought this article was great. I'm sure YouTube will block it, but whatever. Here you go. 90-year-old man arrested, ripped him off by a hooker, calls a woman in his house. And when the cops arrest him, he says, I don't give a fuck, I'm 90 years old, for Christ's sakes. That's my new quote. All right, well, in that there.